My name is Brandy Interview. I've been with the Women's Center for 4 years. I came back to higher education from the corporate arena, so it has definitely been a change of gears, and I love it. I find the work I do here very inspiring. The students are amazing. My colleagues are great, so I really have no complaints. What brought me around to women's issues and feminist issues probably have a lot to do with my grandmother and my mother. I was raised to be extremely independent, to know that I could do anything, to really value education and intelligence. And so that's kind of how I came up. I was pretty snooty about it actually when I was younger. So when I started running into places where I was expected to take a back seat to men or boys because they were men and boys, even though they might not have had the skills that I had, immediately I was like, something's not right about that. So that's probably where the seed was planted. I did a lot of environmental activism with my parents when I was younger, like lake cleanups and political campaigns. So I've always had like a social justice bent to the work that I do. What really facilitated my transition to the position I have here would probably be the work I did in college with a women's organization. Just really helping women develop themselves as women and find out where their value and worth was and how to assert that value and really be self-determining in their lives. So some of the activities I did there helped me move into the position here. So I was originally hired in as a peer educator coordinator for their body image programs. And those programs kind of went to the wayside, and so we've moved into marketing and communications, which I love. It allows us to incorporate our activism work online, which, if you hadn't heard, Facebook's kind of a big deal. So we've been really trying to connect students to what's going on so that their social media sites can also be sites of learning and education and activism. So I think it's really exciting work. Got a great intern this quarter, and so I'm excited about where we can go in the Women's Center. I think it's important for people to at least visit the Women's Center, if for no other reason than to really start dismantling some preconceived notions they might have of, one, what a Women's Center is, what feminists do, what a person could do as a feminist, and what that activism could look like. And also to get away from like just the things you hear every day. Like, we're not hairy-legged, man-hating people. That's just not us. Like, we don't really have time to be that kind of angry person. There's a lot of serious work that we need to be doing to make sure that people have equal opportunity. I think if you're in the business of making sure that women, and for me, women and children, because that's where my feminism is based, when you're making sure that women and children have equal access to opportunity, you're really improving the playing field for everybody. So I would encourage students to just come in and just meet the staff here and find out about our programs. We have leadership programs. We definitely do the sexual assault work here on campus, but it's more to it than that. And there are also positive ways to do sexual assault work, so it's not always so negative. Like, nobody really wants to talk about assault, and it kind of makes you feel bad. But there are really ways to be positive about it and to be preventative with your actions. And so I would just encourage people to stop by and maybe have your mind changed and discover something new and meet some incredible people. The people who come through the Women's Center come from all walks of life. We have international students who come through here, people of all different ages and experiences, people who are returning to school like myself from corporate arena. So it's really a good place to meet with other people and find out about their experiences and kind of dismantle some of your stereotypes you may have. And you might also discover something you love to do and have an opportunity to do it and do it well here. What do I see in the Women's Center future? There's so much, it's hard to really put that into words. We are the largest women's center in Ohio right now. We're the oldest. And so one of the things I see as my role in the future of the Women's Center is really telling that story and making sure that people know that, one, we are here, but also making sure that I motivate the staff around me to make sure that we have programs available that support that history, that we're really doing the work that we say we're doing, and that we're reaching out to the groups that we need to be reaching out to. I think this is a critical time for women's centers, women, gender, sexuality studies programs, women in general, And I think we really need to be very mindful about how we move forward in the future, making sure that we maintain access to our rights, that we continue to fight for more opportunities, that we just really work on dismantling structures that are oppressing women and consequently children all around the world. And I think women's centers are a great place to do that. I think sometimes it's easy to get stuck in activisms that we know about, so like, you know, right to choice and equal pay. But I think it's also critical that women's centers are really investigating and looking at other areas with a more critical lens to make sure that there are no segments of women's experience that we're missing. So I think the women's centers in general, and this women's center in particular, are just really poised to do some phenomenal things to really continue the work they've been doing and to expand it and to really answer that question of, are women's centers necessary, which I think is a resounding yes. But it's always great when you can have the programs and the events and women's lives change to really back it up. The Women's Center is awesome. We've got super comfy couches, incredible people who work here. We've had a male student who used to do some graphics for us, and we asked him what he liked about the Women's Center, and he said the Women's Center is a place for friends. And I think he's right. I think people come in and they're not quite sure what to expect, but they usually leave with two things: more information than they had when they came, and more contacts for friends. And who couldn't use more friends? Valuable friends. So come on into the Women's Center. Oh, we also have popcorn on Friday, which seems to be a big hit. So just some fun things. It's not all the system. We have a good time here. We have fun. It's a good, positive place to be.